Hello children, I welcome you all to another e-content of your subject Environmental Management. This is the second PPT of the module 2 and the topics to be covered here are degradation of land, degradation of forests and degradation of agricultural land. I hope all of you remember the term degradation. In our earlier PPT, we had discussed about the term degradation, environmental degradation, causes, effects, etc. So let us see what are the contents to be learnt in this particular PPT. In this slide, you can read about degradation of land. Let us see the meaning of degradation of land. It is a temporary or permanent lowering of the productive capacity of the land. The change in the characteristics or features and the quality of the soil which adversely affects its fertility is called as land degradation. It involves loss of natural fertility of the soil, less vegetation cover, contamination of the soil and thus pollution of water sources. And this also will affect the changes in climatic conditions because of unbalanced creations in the environment. So this is the meaning of degradation of land. In this slide, you can see an example, a small picture about degradation of land or land degradation, where you can see barren land, that is, there is no productive substances in this particular land. Moving ahead, let us see the reasons or causes of land degradation. Land degradation is caused by multiple forces, or there are various reasons for land degradation. These are: first one, deforestation, overgrazing, soil erosion, agricultural practices, industrialization, urbanization. So let us see the first one. You know what is the meaning of deforestation, that is mass cutting of trees. Now deforestation is taking place at a very faster rate due to increasing demand of timber, fuel, forest products, etc. and this results in degradation of the land. India loses a major chunk of the forest due to deforestation every year. So it's a major reason for land degradation. The second point is overgrazing. Overgrazing means excessive eating of grasses and other green plants by cattle. Cattle like cow, goats, etc. It results in the reduced growth of vegetation and in fact it reduces the diversity of plant species and there will be excessive growth of unwanted plants, etc. And though it is actually plants act as food for cattle, when this problem is increasing, it becomes a major environmental issue. The third one is soil erosion. Loss of vegetative cover, that is meant by soil erosion, and it makes the land more difficult to survive and it results in vast areas of barren land, and there are high chances that the topsoil gets washed away and this results in the permanent depletion of the resources. The next point is agricultural practices. Different types of agricultural practices are followed throughout the world. Modern agricultural practices, they use excessive use of fertilizers and pesticides, and this may have an adverse effect on the fertility of the soil. Also, over irrigation results in waterlogging and also salinization of the soil. The next point is industrialization. Development of industries for the economy is something very important, but at the same time it leads to excessive deforestation because we need more space. But what happens is that because of increase in industrialization, pollution increases and naturally available resources like land is also used up, and industrial waste like chemical residues, fly ash, plastics, rubber, glass, etc. are discarded in the open surface, which also affects the land. The last point here is urbanization. Urbanization happens, or there is more requirement of urban area because of increasing growth of population, and there is more demand for residential areas and commercial areas. And again the same point can be repeated over here. The waste generated from urban areas like garbage, solid waste, household waste, construction waste, sewage, all these things results in land degradation. In the next slide, we can see few remedies for preventing land degradation. These are afforestation, means planting more trees, especially in wasteland and catchment areas can be afforested in a massive scale. Then proper agricultural practices like terrace farming in hilly areas and all. Using fertilizers and micronutrients properly. Planned urban development. Using traditional practices like mulching etc. to restore the natural fertility of the soil. Mulching is using of leaves, then other such substances to make help in increasing the natural fertility of the soil. Then checking the grazing of animals and construction of dams. Actually, construction of dams usually checks or reduces the velocity, speed of runoff so that the soil will support the vegetation. The next slide explains about degradation of forest. Forest degradation is a process in which the biological wealth of the forest area is permanently diminished by some factor or by a combination of various factors. This does not involve a reduction of the forest area but rather a quality decrease in the forest area. The forest is still there but with fewer trees or less species of trees, plants or animals. We all know forests are a valuable asset to mankind. Forest lands are converted into other uses mostly for farming purpose. Now deforestation continues today at a rapid pace and it threatens the existence of various biological species. In this slide you can see a picture of an area where deforestation is going on, where there is mass cutting of trees. This slide explains about the benefits or uses of forests. These benefits can be divided into two categories: economic benefits and ecological benefits. Economic benefits are these: forests provide us with timber for construction of buildings, then construction of homes, shipbuilding, etc. It provides firewood for fuel purpose. Then it also provides with numerous forest produces like honey, flowers, medicinal herbs, gum, etc. It is also used as raw materials in various industries like paper making, leather, rubber, etc. Now let's see the ecological benefits. It provides relief from the hectic urban life and also provides space for various recreational activities. It acts as home to many bird and animal species. It protects the soil from erosion and it also reduces the intensity of the floods. It helps in assisting the cycling of water, oxygen, etc. Despite this multiple utility of forest, still the forests are cut. The land which has been occupied the forest are converted into other purposes, mostly farming purposes. Still, even today, deforestation continues at a very fast pace and it threatens the existence of human civilization. In this slide, we can see the causes for deforestation. That is mainly for economic reasons, as we saw it in the earlier slide. Then demand for agricultural industries, transportation network, housing, etc. Then poverty is also another one reason for deforestation, like especially in developing countries like India. Deforestation is viewed as a natural social response to poverty, and people people use these forest resources or they cut trees etc. for their livelihood also. This slide explains about various remedies for protection of forest. As we know, first one is afforestation. It is the activity of planting more and more trees from where they are removed. It helps to restore the degraded ecosystems. It also helps to conserve the soil and it also restores the fertility and productivity of the agricultural land, etc. Afforestation can be practiced in hill slopes, marginal lands, along highways, railway tracks, barren land, etc. Second one is improved cutting process and scientifically managed lumbering. Improved cutting process mainly explains about selective cutting of trees. That is, only selected trees are cut, those which are affected by diseases or which are matured. But at the same time, we should ensure that this doesn't affect the environment. Managing lumbering means clear cutting of the forest should be monitored efficiently, and it also should be managed efficiently so that there is no unnecessary cutting of trees. Third point is reducing the demand for wood and wood products. Now it can be reduced, or it can be greatly reduced by using the principles of sustainability, like we can recycle the products, or we can shift to certain other products or certain other substitutes of wood products. Next one is better laws and policies. Better laws and policies to protect the forest at national levels and international levels. The next point is environmental impact assessment. This particular point we will be learning later. Still, I will explain what is the meaning here. It helps us to decide on the various cost and impact or benefits of new projects which are undertaken in the forested areas, and it will also help us to decide whether these projects are environmentally viable or not. That is, whether it is feasible to set up a industry in such a place or not, whether it will be hazardous to the area or not. These things we can understand by conducting an EIA, environmental impact assessment. The last point here is social forestry. Social forestry are different efforts to improve the village welfare and reduce the pressure on these forest land by. So social forestry are the efforts taken to improve the village welfare and also to reduce the pressure on the forest land, and it requires basically community support for protection and distribution of the benefits and cost, and it will be mostly undertaken on the government lands. So there is a watch on the forest land by involving the villagers also in this case. The next slide explains about degradation of agricultural land. As you all know, agriculture is one of the most important occupation. It is coming under primary activity, but still the present agricultural system is unable to meet the food demands. The world population is increasing and there is an increase in the demand for food. At the same time, agricultural land on the earth is limited. A large number of people go hungry or suffer from malnutrition due to inadequate diet. And the only solution for this is to increase the food production, but that is also not a practical way because there is very much degradation of agricultural land. Agricultural practices involve both traditional agriculture and modern agriculture. Traditional agriculture normally uses the traditional methods for farming, and modern agriculture involves modern sophisticated methods for farming. Whichever method is being used, there are environmental problems associated with all these methods. Let us first see the problems associated with traditional agriculture. The first one is soil erosion. It is the movement of the soil components, especially the topsoil, from one place to another, and this results in the loss of soil fertility. Second one is deforestation because of different agricultural practices, like for example slash and burn of trees, slashing and burning of trees in the forest to clear the land or to make the land for cultivation. This results in the loss of forest. Then depletion of nutrients. During this, again the same activity, during the slash and burn, the organic matter in the soil gets destroyed and most of the nutrients are taken by the crops within a short period. Thus it makes the area, or it makes the soil very poor in nutrients. Because of this, the farmers will be shifting to some other area. Now let us see the problems associated with modern agriculture. Modern agriculture basically uses hybrid seeds of selected and single crop variety. They use high-tech equipments and they also input lots of energy in the form of fertilizers, pesticides, water, etc. Actually, the production of food production has increased tremendously because of green revolution, which used these what you can say, increase in fertilizers, pesticides, water, etc. Now there are problems associated with modern agriculture also. Like first one is fertilizer related problems. When there is an increase in the fertilizers which is put in the crops, the farmers tend to use more and more fertilizers in order to get increased return, but the nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium contents in these fertilizers creates micronutrient imbalance. There is also pollution due to nitrogenous fertilizers which is applied deep into the soil, and ultimately it will contaminate the groundwater. It also creates a very serious health hazard which is known as blue baby syndrome. Then another issue is eutrophication, where the proportion of nitrates and this phosphates etc. in the crop fields, they get washed over and it reaches in the water bodies, which causes overnutrition or overnourishment of the lakes. This process is known as eutrophication. Because of this, the lakes which will get invaded by algae. This will affect the food chain. Second one is pesticide related problems. It creates resistance in the pests and produces new pests, and it may also result in the death of the organisms which are not actually targeted. It also results in biological magnification. Like what happens is that many of these pesticides are non biodegradable and keeps on accumulating in the food chain, and one after the other, when the animals are consuming it, it results in biological magnification. Even human beings get the pesticides in a biomagnified form, which is very much harmful. The next point here is water logging. Over irrigation. Water logging is caused due to over irrigation of agricultural farms, due to inadequate drainage also. That is, the water table rises and the root of the plant do not get adequate space for breathing, and there will be a result in the loss of crop yield. Last point here is salinization of the soil. This again happens due to excessive irrigation. Majority of the area, croplands in the world, get irrigation from the groundwater or canals, and this may consist of dissolved salt. And during dry climate, the water evaporates, leaving the salts behind, and thus it may make the soil non-productive. This was the first topics which we had discussed in the second module, that is environmental degradation. We have already seen that, and degradation of land, forest and agricultural area or agricultural land. I hope these concepts are clear to you all. Thank you.